Once upon a time, in a box of crayons, there was an argument going on. All the colored pencils were arguing about which color was the prettiest. Red argued that it was her since she was the color of love and passion. Yellow chimed in saying, "No, it's me because I'm the color of happiness and sunshine." Blue said, "No way, it's me because I'm the color of freedom and the sky and the ocean." Green said, "You're all wrong. It's nature's color and it's calm and peaceful." The other colors all shouted at once, each one thinking that their color was the best. Just then, a little girl opened the box. She picked up the pencils and began to draw. As she drew, she used one color at a time, but soon she began to mix them all together. The colors were so surprised. They saw that the picture she was drawing was beautiful, but it wasn't finished. So the colors continued to argue about who should be added next. But the girl just shook her head and said, "No, you're not getting it. You're all beautiful and you're meant to be together." Then the colors stopped and listened. The girl continued, "When you're all used together, that's when the picture is the prettiest. You're all different and that's what makes you special. But being different isn't just for show. It is so that you can all work together and make something that none of you could do alone. You don't really understand this now, but someday you will." Then she put the pencils back in the box and closed it. The pencils were quiet for a moment. Red was the first to break the silence. She said to the others, "She's right. When we're together, that's when we're the prettiest. We can make colors that we can't even imagine on our own. Like turquoise, that's my favorite. It's the color of clear water on a sunny day. It's the perfect mix of blue and green, and without either one, it couldn't exist." The other colors all nodded their heads in agreement. They realized that they were all different and that's what made them so great. They were all part of something bigger than themselves, and they needed each other to make the world beautiful. Yellow said, "So does this mean that no color is the prettiest?" Green said, "Well, not if we're talking about what's prettiest. But I think we can all agree that we're all pretty special." Blue said, "That's right. We're all special in our own way." And Red, "We don't need to be the color of love to be loved. We're all loved just for being who we are." The girl opened the box again and took out all the pencils. She was so happy to see that they were all getting along. She gave them each a hug and said, "You're all wonderful just the way you are." Then she started to draw, and all the colors worked together to make the most beautiful picture imaginable. The end. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who loved to draw. She had a box of crayons, but her favorite were the colored pencils. They were smooth and shiny, and they made her drawings come to life. But one day the colored pencils started to argue about which one was the best. One day they were arguing so loudly that the girl heard them. She was so upset that her favorite colored pencils were arguing. She tried to stop them, but they wouldn't listen, so she had an idea. She picked up all the pencils and put them in a box. Then she went away for a long time. When she came back, she opened the box and the colored pencils were still there, but they weren't arguing anymore. They had all made friends. The girl was so happy that her colored pencils were getting along. She took them out of the box and started to draw. She drew a picture of a rainbow, and it was the most beautiful picture she had ever drawn. The girl looked at her picture and smiled. She knew that her colored pencils were special, and it wasn't because they were the prettiest or the best. It was because they were all different and they could all work together to make something beautiful.